Miracle, baby. Yeah. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. Miracle, miracle, serves. We keep having all these problems. How we gonna solve them? Every day it's the same thing. Yeah. All these unsolved issues, I guess it's official. Here we go again, the same old thing. And I'm tired of the arguing and lying. So goodbye, all the hurt and crying. Things will change and you, so how can I expect something new? It's the same old thing.
Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is July the 21st, 2025, and today the topic is Sanballat Moments. Happy Monday. It's Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. Not too much to report. I mean, it's kind of a low-key weekend in regards to Saturday. We just kind of chilled around here. Had a little relaxation rest time. Obviously, y'all know that I work on Sundays and things of that nature, so obviously I was there at the church. I did get a chance to go and sit in the gathering. So what is this, 4 Sundays in a row? I guess I can stop counting now, right? It seems like it might be a regular thing at some point. We're going to see what the Lord do. But so far so good. I got a chance to go to the first service, and then the second 2 I worked and hosted and things like that, and taught. Actually, I taught both of those. I guess I'll share other stuff, after show stuff, later. We got to go ahead and get into this conversation. Let me say good morning to Sammy Lou. So thank you for tuning in, Sammy Lou. Yes, happy Monday to you. And look, Angela left in the building. Say you early this morning. Listen, well, that could be for a few reasons. So this week's gonna be interesting. One, I'm supposed to, well, there's this thing called Joy Week that the staff is doing over at the church, and I haven't been participating in former years because I'm part-time. We talked all about that, but I do intend to participate this year just to go team build, you know what I'm saying, and also to just see what the Lord do. Like, I don't know what all is going on or X, Y, and Z. Technically, I could just go on the days that I work, but I'm like, technically I'm available, so I'll go and just hopefully have a good time and see what the Lord do. I am going to be working this evening there, but yeah, I'm going to go every morning, I guess, this week, pretty much. And then at the end of the week, you're supposed to be doing vacation, remember? So it's going to be an interesting week. We're going to see how the Lord do the juice. But yeah, he brought me early this morning. I guess a little early compared to other days, right? Or recent days. Let's see. So happy you came on. It's 10:30 p.m. here, and I didn't miss you. Oh, wow. Yes, over there in Australia, right? There's NJ, guys. Yes, and yes, they're saying hello to Miss Angela as well. All right, friends. So we may be wondering, what is a Sanballat moment? And so I guess I'm, here to talk about it. So it's so interesting. A few weeks ago, the pastor said, in his sermon, to, that we shouldn't show our open wounds, right? We should show scars. And so, I guess I'm about to show some scars today. You know what I'm saying? I know I've been kind of telling you guys little things and bits and pieces, and I don't know how much I'm going to reveal in this moment. But I'll just say it like this. I definitely feel like I have gone through a Sanballat moment or two the past few days. And, I guess I can share how I pushed through and where I'm at today. But yeah, so, so if you've been tuning in, like I think these ladies have tuned in the past few days, then y'all know that I've been like, oh, I'm struggling with a little this. I'm trying to stay focused. I was up all night, all this type of stuff the past few days. And so I'll say it like this. Basically, there was something I feel like I was tempted and tested with over the past few days that I think in my past I would have failed. But this time, right, I decided to do something different, right? And push through and not even entertain the temptation this go around. And so now I feel like, what I'm saying, I got a little confirmation on the other side. I don't know exactly what all is going to come or what fruits or whatever the case may be from the seeds that I've been sowing, right? But I can already see like the fact that the Lord got me coming here to talk about it today. I would say what led me to talk about it is I did have a dream. And in my dream, actually the situation was worse. Like I had already, like in my real life, I've been going through this thing for real, but in the dream it seemed to be a little bit worse. Like the person was a little bit more bold, and like it was a little bit more clear about what was happening in the dream. And I was like, well, Lord, I thought I passed the test. I didn't even entertain it at all, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, anytime I was tempted, I was like praying, you know what I'm saying? I was studying the word, you know what I mean? I was trying to go deeper and not even stay in my own thoughts at all about the situation. I was like, to be honest, and again, we're going to see how much the Lord has me to reveal. But basically, I didn't respond at all to the temptation. Which is, look, this is growth and maturity for me. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I remember slipping up. You know what I'm saying? I remember entertaining, these type of things. And so I feel like for me to not engage at all is growth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, Lord, that's the past few days. Like, and then I got this dream, like, wait a minute. Like, kind of in a way, not to say, basically in the dream, the person that I was dealing with was like just very like bold, brazen, like this is what it is type vibes. And I'm like, and I don't even remember interacting. I just remember like the thing. My son is right here, you know what I'm saying? But it's not that deep. I think y'all got the point, I hope, is what I'm saying. Like basically temptations, right? Things can come in our way when we're trying to do the Lord's work, right? You trying to build, right? You trying to grow, you trying to be better, right? Whatever it is, whether it's again relationships, just ministry, whatever, right? And here comes distractions. I think y'all understand what I'm saying here. Like even without me going deeper about my own thing, like my own testimony really don't even matter. I feel like it's about trying to stay focused, trying to do the Lord's work, and then distractions come. And so basically I was going through that type of thing the past few days. And it's like I saw the distraction and I was like, nope, hold on. I ain't even going to engage. I ain't even going to go there. You know what I'm saying? I know where that's going to go. It ain't going to be nothing good for me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like even if it feels good in a moment or whatever, like, I see this. I don't want to engage with this. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to pray. I'm going to seek the Lord for wisdom. That's what your girl has been trying to do. And so hopefully today, right, as I shared this and as I share what I received this morning, that you too will be able to push through your Sanballat moment. Now I know you guys may be like, Sanballat, what is that, right? Because I know when I saw that word this morning, I was like, I don't know if I heard that word before. So Sanballat is a name. Sanballat is a name in the Bible, and it was a gentleman that was trying to distract, I guess I'm safe to say, the prophet Nehemiah. And Nehemiah's thing was he was building the wall and things of that nature, right? I went deeper about the name Sanballat, and interesting enough, the name itself means sin. The moon god sin gives life. So that's already interesting because then we know that sin, that word already is heavy and charged by itself. But then apparently back in the day, sin or sin meant a representative moon god as well. So either way it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's this moon god giving life or if it's sin itself. Like either way you look at it, it's like, what a jacked up name to have, right? I guess side note, look, think and pray about what you name your children, right? Because just one of those things to think about. But basically, if I just had a little definition for the name, it pretty much said represents counterfeit strength. I don't know what I wrote, y'all, so my apologies. But some type of like false empowerment and false authority. And then it says the kind that opposes the true work of God. So yeah, like even as I again reflect on my own situation, I'm like, I have been trying my best to just focus on the Lord. You know what I mean? Like, Lord, what do you want me to do? Just cultivating what the Lord has already established with me, for me, and through me, right? I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm not trying to uproot, my garden, right? I'm not trying to tear down my house, as the Bible talks about, I guess, unwise women doing such things. Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I'm trying my best, right, to stay on the path that the Lord has created. And not only, again, cultivate and, help that to grow and build, but again, to expand, right? We want to not, you sowing, so you be able to reap, and then more, and then growth, and then things of that nature. So these moments, man, these moments of distraction. Look, even my son right now, y'all see, y'all that are here live, y'all see he might be a little bit of that right now. But look, we're going to push through, right? We're going to get this word from the Lord on today. Now, when I looked up the definition of Sanballat moment, this is what I came across to share with you guys. A spiritually strategic distraction, often designed as flattery, urgency, or familiar voices sent to pull you away from the work God has called you to build. Delay your purpose or your progress, and then to make you doubt your assignment. Look, has anybody ever felt this before? I believe I have, even beyond this thing, but in the current situation. But I think we all probably can relate one way or another. Like I said, you trying to do right or whatever case may be, and then here comes distractions, right? Here comes temptation from the past, or here comes a brand new temptation, right? Or here comes just a distraction that if you pay attention, right, and if you are, I guess, built up spiritually with the word, then you're able to see, right? But sometimes it can get difficult when you don't see, right? And then you find out later that that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? So I think this time for me, it was like when the thing turned around, I was like, this looked familiar. Even though you're somebody different, you know what I'm saying? Even though, I have nothing, there's no familiarity, but the familiar thing is this cycle. And what I don't want to do is participate in the cycle. You know what I'm saying? And the more I didn't participate, it was like how the word is saying, look, the devil got to flee, right? That's pretty much what happened. And again, I don't know how deep I'm going to get into all of that. But I mean, at the same time, there's no reason to hide or be ashamed, because, well, one, I've already confessed to y'all a lot of stuff. If you listen to the Jews at all, like, I done share with you guys my ups and downs, as a wife, as a mom, as a person, you know what I'm saying? So look, I think I'm showing you my scars right now and not open wounds. The fact that I pushed through this particular situation, and proud of myself in some way, pat myself on the back, thanking the Lord, right, for the wisdom, right, and the ability to do something different, which is something I often talk about. I don't know, I guess I just thought about, like, people I've tried to either coach or help or assist or whatever with the same type of things. Sometimes, again, we can get just so used to the familiar that you're like, well, I guess I'll just, and then it's like, well, what's the point, of doing the same thing over and over and over again? Like, what's going to happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't going to be anything beneficial to you in your life and your future. So why do it again? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at in my life, right? You know what I mean? That's the way I was thinking when it came to the past few days. I was like, you know what? Sure, this may be flattering. You know what I'm saying? Sure, this may be a quote unquote temptation because I'm human out here. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm like, where's this going to go? Like, what's the benefit of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, sure, my situation may be frustrating, different things like that. But when I just think about, right, what I've been through before, for me, it's like there's no need to go backwards. Like, I'm just trying to go forwards. You know what I'm saying? And I know that can be a difficult thing to push through, right? Especially, again, when it's, again, temptations can be things we like, right? Temptations can be things we won't, right? And then you feel like, well, I'm denying myself, all these different type of things. So I'm just trying to keep it general, y'all, because I want you guys to think about you and your situation, and so you guys can be prepared, right, when these things happen. Because at the same time, too, you got to pay attention to, like, when it's happening, right? All right, so if I give you guys a little bit more glimpse, I don't think it was by accident, right, that this thing popped up, like, right after the other day when I told y'all me and my husband had a date night. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just leave it there. If y'all been here before, you know. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, right after this, we trying to do something. I told you guys last time I was here, I was like, we trying to do something, you know what I mean? This is probably the second date night that we done had in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, here come a temptation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, very interesting, this timing. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, right? Without me getting too deep, let's keep talking about what the Lord has to say to us. So, basically, if you guys check out Nehemiah 6, I was going to put it in the Go Deeper section for you guys to peruse and marinate on heart, souls, and minds. But I didn't. Actually, I put other verses there. So if you want to check out Nehemiah 6, because I did today, I went deeper about that. Then feel free. You know what I'm saying? Read it, like, listen to the whole chapter, read the whole chapter, however you want to say it. But here's a verse that stood out in Nehemiah 6, because the interesting thing is, no matter what Sanballat and the rest of them, right, in his cronies was trying to do to distract Nehemiah, it was like Nehemiah had that wisdom beyond, right, to say, hey, you know what I mean? I see you and I call your bluff. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty much how Nehemiah resisted those temptations and then those distractions, and then also the attempts at what's the best way to say it? The attempts at attacking him, basically. You know what I mean? So Nehemiah 6:3 says this. It says, I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down. Why should the work stop while I leave it and come down to you? Shout out to Nehemiah. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Lord and the Holy Spirit guiding him with wisdom, right? Because, again, they was trying to get him to come and have a meeting. You know what I'm saying? They was trying to get him to stop building the wall and, probably even to attack him and different things of that nature. And he's like, that don't make no sense. Like, I'm in the midst of doing a great work. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It don't make no sense for me to come down talking to you. You know what I mean? And look, and may us all be that way. You know what I'm saying? May we all recognize our Sanballat moments just like that, right? And then handle it, right, the way Nehemiah did, with wisdom. I think your girl did that. Look, and this is giving glory to the Lord. This ain't about puffing myself up. This is giving glory to the Lord. Because at the end of the day, again, I'm human out here. And so I had to just look. Me and my husband kind of talked about this last night. We had like a little deep conversation. You know what I'm saying? We was playing this little game that every now and then we play, and it kind of is asking each other questions and stuff like that. And so at some point I just pretty much was letting him know, like, it is, at the end of the day, I think the things that convict me today to try to stay on the path is knowing that at the end of the day, the Lord has blessed me to be able to speak into the lives of kids. You know what I'm saying? He's blessing me to be able to speak on GSL and do the things I do here. So at the end of the day, like, for me to fail will be a greater issue, I feel like, than, maybe than before in my life, right? I feel like there's a greater loss or something like that. Now, again, am I human, right? And I'm not Jesus the Christ, right? And I'm doing my best, right, to live righteously and things of that nature. So I know that there's grace and mercy for me as well, right? But at the end of the day, as well, as like, okay, I done been through this before, right? I need to pass the test this time. Like, I can't be continuing to, like, make D's, you know what I'm saying? Or C's, like, you know what I mean? When I can make a A. You know what I'm saying? Like, go for the A. You're right? Things like that. So I don't know what's going to help, right, convict you, right, or to help you in your moments. But I hope seeing the bigger picture will help, right? Understanding that, what I'm going through ain't just for me. It's for, like, my circle of influence. It's for, again, the bigger mission that the Lord has me on. Whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're building and you know that God is using you, right, to build things for the kingdom or whatever, right, to sow in people's lives or whatever the case may be, then, I mean, understand that comes with a little higher standard. Like, I mean, they talk about, the Bible tells us clearly, like, those that teach are going to be held to a higher standard, and things like that. So many shouldn't be wanting to teach or whatever, but at the same time, there's plenty of people that need to be doing the work. But that's a whole nother conversation. If we just focus right now on distractions, I hope that what I've already said will encourage you. But let me give you guys another verse, Proverbs 4:25 and 27, or through 27. It says, "Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Do not swerve to the right or left. Keep your foot from evil." At the end of the day, look, sometimes you probably got to be like Joseph, right? And look, leave your robe and run. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we know the right thing to do. And then for whatever reason, we'll allow the enemy to tempt us to not do that thing when we know, again, what's best. And so, sometimes, again, you got to just either remove yourself from the situation. Don't even walk in the situation. Just repent and turn around immediately. Like, if you recognize, right, the I don't want to say it wrong, Sanballat moment. If you're recognizing the Sanballat moment in your life, then, first of all, praise the Lord, right, for discernment, right, and thank him, right, that you can see it, right, and then from there be like, okay, Lord, now I see this, right, and let me turn or like focus on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's all your girl did in the past few days. Anytime I was tempted, I was like, hold on, let me go pray. You know what I'm saying? Let me go see what the word got to say. You know what I'm saying? Let me go process and things of that nature versus going down any familiar dark cycle of a path. I hope these things will encourage you. I really do. I got one more verse that I felt led to share, and that is 1 Peter 5:8. It says, "Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour." At the end of the day, the enemy ain't playing with us. Look, just waiting on an opportunity to go to the Lord and say, look, she failed again. Look, see, look what she did again. You know what I mean? Like, don't give him that opportunity. Don't even give it to him. At the end of the day, look, you got to come with something different. You know what I mean? You got to come with something new, right? And don't just put in another package and be the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have to come with something else. Because at the end of the day, like, again, we got to push through, right? Stay focused. And like to say be sober-minded. At the end of the day, again, if you're filling yourself with the word, right? Filling yourself with, righteous judgment, things of that nature, then, the Lord can use that, right? And then you have the strength to, defeat the enemy, right? Resist temptation, and to not let those distractions keep you down. You guys can go deeper about this, man. There's plenty of verses in the go deeper section to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. And like I said, you can also check out Nehemiah 6 if you guys just want to read that and see what Nehemiah did and how he handled his Sanballat moment. But I think y'all received the juice, right? Y'all have received the juice about this. So let me go ahead and give you guys that Bible verse of today, and that's Jeremiah 31:25. It says, "For I have satiated the weary soul, and I have replenished every sorrowful soul." Friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow. If the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.